Today, we're diving into a story that's stranger than fiction, a tale of audacity, charm, and cunning. This is the story of Victor Lustig, the man who sold the Eiffel Tower. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Chapter 1. Rising through the ranks of crime. Victor Lustig was not a born criminal. He was born in 1890 in Lustig, which is now part of the Czech Republic, and was always a shrewd and charming child. Lustig's parents expected him to pursue a career in law or doctor, but he had different ideas. The excitement of swindling others, the science of fraudulence, and attraction towards free money motivated him. At an early age, Lustig entered into small cons and petty stealing. Nevertheless, his ambition matched his charisma. Soon enough, he discovered that big money lay in cheating. The wealthy and influential people. Consequently, Paris represented to him the ultimate dreamland for rich people with plenty of resources at their disposal, and he wanted to make them his victims. Lustig became well known in Paris very rapidly. He was able to move in high society circles and mingle with the city's elite thanks to his attractiveness, charisma, and multilingualism. He was an expert at disguising himself. He could alter both his look and accent. He might become a count one day, or a successful businessman the next. His true gift, though, was getting others to trust him, believe in him, and give him money. However, the most daring con of Lustig's career was executed in 1925. It was so outrageous and unbelievable that it is now the stuff of legends. The Eiffel Tower was successfully sold by Lustig, not just once, but twice. Chapter 2. The Eiffel Tower for sale. Consider Paris in the 1920s, if you will. Once the symbol of Parisian pride, the Eiffel Tower was in poor condition. It was an eyesore to many Parisians and required enormous maintenance costs. Lustig saw his chance. 6 scrap metal dealers were invited to a covered meeting at an opulent hotel by him, who pretended to be a government official. The tower was going to be scrapped, he explained, because the city could not afford to maintain it. He persuaded them to submit a bid for the job, but there was a catch. Keep the deal a secret to prevent public outcry. Master manipulator Lustig was. He took advantage of his victims' fear and greed. He infused competition and a sense of urgency. In order to seal the deal, he even confided in André Poisson, one of the dealers, telling him that the other man was a corrupt official who required a bribe. Poisson fell for the ruse because he was keen to outperform his rivals. In addition to giving Lustig a bribe, he gave him a sizable payment for the Eiffel Tower. However, upon claiming his prize, Poisson discovered that the city officials were clueless about what he was discussing. Because he was too ashamed to report the crime, Lustig was able to get away with it. Not that Lustig was finished. He briefly left Paris, but he later returned and sold the Eiffel Tower once more after learning that the scam had gone unreported. Chapter 3. The Master of Deception. Victor Lustig's bold conquests continued beyond the Eiffel Tower. He was an expert con man who could trick anyone into believing anything. Once, he managed to persuade infamous mobster Al Capone to put $50,000 into a stock deal. Lustig accepted the money, placed it in a safe, and then sat on it for the next 2 months. He gave the money back to Capone, stating that the deal had fallen through. Capone was so happy to receive his money back that he gave Lustig $5,000 as compensation for his troubles. But the Romanian box con was Lustig's most well-known con. According to him, this tiny device could replicate any kind of money. The problem was that it required 6 hours to generate a single bill. These boxes were sold by Lustig for astronomical prices. Lustig was long gone by the time the purchasers discovered the boxes were broken. Lustig had a difficult life in spite of his success. He moved from country to country and city to city while always on the run. He was always watching his back and had to change his identity on a regular basis. However, it seemed that Lustig enjoyed the risk and the rush of adrenaline. He once declared, "A crook is an artist, a theater performer. He must be able to deceive himself first and foremost." Chapter 4. The Downfall of a Con Artist. Lustig's reign as the king of con artists had to end, though. As with all good things, selling the Romanian box to a Texas sheriff was the first step toward his downfall. Not as credulous as Lustig's earlier victims, the sheriff arrested Lustig. Even in prison, though, Lustig was unable to shake the thrill of the con. He persuaded the guards that he was an important French official who had to be freed right away. They were duped by it. But when Lustig was taken into custody by the FBI, his good fortune finally ran out. Lustig was found guilty of several charges of fraud and given a 20-year sentence to serve in Alcatraz, despite his best efforts to win over and mislead the agents. His legend endures, despite his passing in prison. One of history's greatest con artists, Victor Lustig, sold the Eiffel Tower, and he will always be remembered as such. Chapter 5: The Legacy of a Scam Artist. Victor Lustig's life demonstrated the fact that someone can be easily convinced and deceived. He had a larger-than-life kind of life, with audacious con tricks as well as daring escapes. However, he ended up being incarcerated not just in Alcatraz, but also due to his ambition for more and greed. Lustig's story is there to warn us about something. It teaches us that while charm and slyness can make you go far, they will never outdo the law. Additionally, it shows how important skepticism and critical thinking are. In such a world of fraudsters and scam artists, it is worth being careful or questioning everything. Nevertheless, the most fascinating part of Lustig's narrative is the man himself. He still continues to be an interesting personality despite his criminal undertakings. His daring nature, appealing character traits, as well as intellectuality always keep us attracted to him. He was a person who dreamt big, challenged authority, and made impossible things possible. This is why Victor Lustig remains known as the person who once sold the Eiffel Tower. And that, folks, is the incredible story of Victor Lustig, the scammer who sold the Eiffel Tower, a master of deception, a charmer, and a criminal genius. His audacious scams and unbelievable audacity have made him a legend in the world of crime. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories. And remember, not everything that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's just a well-polished scam. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and as always, stay awesome.